Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. You know that feeling, right? You've got this big, exciting goal. Maybe it's finally booking that, I don't know, dream trip.
Yeah, or maybe saving up for a down payment, something big.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or just getting a solid retirement fund started. The vision is clear, but the path there often feels, well, daunting. Like, how do you even begin?
And how do you keep going when it feels slow? That's the real trick.
Totally. Well, today we're taking a closer look at a tool aiming to maybe light up that path a bit.
Yeah.
The RMY Studio Savings Goal app. It's an Android app, and it's designed pretty squarely to simplify the journey to your financial targets.
Right.
So our mission today isn't just to tell you what it does. We want to really explore how it uses certain, let's say, behavioral ideas, where its strengths are.
And maybe what questions you as a user should be asking.
Precisely. Okay, let's dig into this one. So when we talk about saving, the very first step is usually setting the goal. Obvious? Maybe.
Seems obvious, but it's fundamental.
And the RMY Studio app seems to get that people rarely have just one thing they're saving for.
Hmm.
What I found interesting right off the bat is this promise of unlimited savings goals.
Mm-hmm.
You're not restricted. You could be saving for that vacation, a new car, maybe an emergency fund, all at the same time within the app.
And what's fascinating there, from a behavioral finance angle, is how that lines up with something called mental accounting.
Mental accounting, okay.
Yeah, it's this idea that people naturally tend to put their money into different mental buckets. So instead of one giant, maybe intimidating savings pool,
Yeah.
this app lets you create like Hawaii trip 2025 and new laptop fund, distinct goals.
Ah, I see. So you label them.
Exactly. And labeling them gives each one psychological weight. People often engage more, save more consistently when it's for something specific rather than just a generic savings pile.
Right. It makes it less abstract.
Precisely. It makes it tangible. And the unlimited part means you don't have to mentally sacrifice one dream for another just in the planning stage.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like having, I don't know, multiple digital piggy banks, each with its own name tag.
That's a great analogy, yeah.
And they've
Wow.
taken that personalization even further. You can add an image to each goal. So, maybe a photo of the Eiffel Tower for that Paris trip or your dream car.
Mm.
Plus, you set a target completion date. These things, the visuals, the deadlines, they feel very intentionally designed to boost your motivation.
Oh, absolutely. That visual part, adding the image, that's a powerful cognitive anchor.
Cognitive anchor.
Yeah, it turns a number like $5,000 into something emotional. You see the picture, you feel the goal. Research shows that a vivid image keeps you focused way better than just, text on a screen. And this is maybe where we need to look a bit closer.
Okay.
While images are great motivators, there's a potential downside. If the image is, say, too aspirational and your actual progress feels really slow compared to that amazing picture.
It could backfire. Make you feel discouraged instead.
Exactly. It could become demotivating.
Yeah.
So the app's effectiveness there kind of hinges on balancing that aspirational pull with showing you realistic, achievable progress.
That's a subtle but important point. Inspire, don't intimidate.
Right. And the target date, that adds a different kind of pressure, a good kind, usually. It's a hard constraint, creates urgency, makes you feel accountable.
Okay. So you've got your goal set up, personalized with pictures and dates. Now let's talk about one of the features that sounds, well, really helpful, the automatic calculation.
Mm-hmm.
You put in your goal amount, your target date, and the app apparently crunches the numbers. It tells you the minimum you need to save daily, weekly, or monthly. That sounds like a potential game changer.
It really can be.
Mhm.
Because this automatic calculation tackles a huge barrier in personal finance, just
Mhm.
overwhelmed decision fatigue.
Yeah, looking at a big number, like, say, $15,000,
Yeah.
where do you even start?
Exactly. Many people just freeze up. The app acts like your financial navigator here. It breaks down that Mount Everest of a goal into tiny, manageable steps.
So instead of $15,000, it's like,
It's like, okay, just save $10 today, or maybe $70 this week. That's simplification. It cuts through the mental friction that leads to putting things off.
procrastination. Yeah, the enemy of saving.
Right. And it also creates a powerful anchor for your behavior. Once you see that daily or weekly number, it's a clear, consistent target. Much easier to build into a routine than just thinking about some huge sum way off in the future.
So it's about making the big decision once setting the goal, and then the app helps you execute with these smaller steps.
Precisely. Make the decision, then execute repeatedly.
Okay, so it turns this massive task into like a series of achievable little wins. Less like running a marathon, more like just taking steady steps each day.
Well put.
And while you're taking those steps, the app doesn't just leave you guessing how you're doing. It apparently offers pretty solid progress tracking. Visuals, like progress bars or maybe charts.
Yes, that visual feedback loop is incredibly important for keeping motivation up over, the weeks and months it takes to save.
I can imagine seeing that bar fill up. Must feel pretty good.
Oh, definitely. It taps right into gamification principles. Seeing a progress bar move or a chart trend upwards, it's like getting an immediate, tangible reward for doing the right thing financially.
Like leveling up in a game.
Exactly. It reinforces the saving habit, makes the whole thing feel more engaging, less like a chore. But
Wow.
there's always a but, isn't there?
Huh. Usually. Go on.
While seeing that visual progress is motivating, it's also important for you, the user, to remember that the pretty bar graph is just a representation.
Right, it's not the whole story.
No. Real financial discipline also means understanding at least a bit what's happening underneath, not just relying on the feel-good factor of the progress bar. It's a fantastic tool, but it should ideally complement, not totally replace, a deeper engagement with your own finances.
That's a really good point. Balance the motivation with genuine understanding. Okay, so it sounds like a potentially really useful tool for getting people started and keeping them on track.
It seems designed with that very much in mind, yes.
But let's pivot a bit. Let's talk about something that's, frankly, critical with any digital tool these days, especially one that touches your financial goals. Data safety. Privacy.
Crucial topic, yes.
For an app that's tracking these quite personal aspirations, what do we actually know about how RMY Studio handles user privacy?
Okay, this is where, as you said, we need to put on our critical hats. The developers, RMY Studio, they state quite clearly, according to the source material, that no data is shared with third parties.
Okay, that sounds good. Pretty definitive.
It is. It's a strong statement and definitely a plus point for building user trust, especially now when data sharing is so common.
Yeah.
That commitment stands out. However,
There's the however.
The source material also notes that the app, and I quote loosely here, may collect certain data types like files and documents.
Files and documents. Okay, that sounds vague.
It is vague, and this is where, for someone really paying attention, a little red flag might pop up.
Why, what's the concern?
Well, when a financial-related app says files and documents, you have to ask, what does that actually mean? Does it just mean the, holiday photo you uploaded for your vacation goal?
Which seems pretty harmless.
Relatively, yes. Or could it potentially mean sensitive personal financial documents, maybe bank statements, notes about your finances, things that a user might maybe mistakenly, maybe intentionally upload or somehow link to the app?
That's a very different scenario.
Vastly different. And the source material we have doesn't clarify that distinction. That lack of specifics is, I'd say, a significant point of ambiguity for privacy-conscious users. It leaves a really important question hanging.
What specific files and documents? And why are they being collected?
Exactly those questions. Users probably should be looking for more clarity on that.
Okay, that's a really key distinction. One is a picture of a beach, the other could be your financial life. You also mentioned the source says collected data is encrypted in transit. Could you break that down for listeners who want to understand what that really means for security?
Sure. Encrypted in transit basically means that when data travels from your phone to the app servers over the internet, it's scrambled. So if someone were trying to eavesdrop, say, on a public Wi-Fi network, they couldn't read your information.
Okay, so that's standard practice, right? Good practice.
It's fundamental security hygiene. You'd expect it. It's almost the minimum standard these days. But for an informed user, the immediate next question is always about data at rest.
Data at rest.
Meaning once your goal information or those potentially collected files and documents arrive safely at RMY Studio's servers, how are they stored there?
Right. Are they still encrypted on the server itself? Are the servers physically secure, locked down?
Precisely. And the source material, well, it doesn't seem to give us details on data at rest security, which is a pretty common omission, unfortunately, but it's a critical piece of the puzzle for a full security picture, especially with financial data, even if it's just goals.
That's a gap then.
It's a gap. Also, things like two-factor authentication, another layer of security you often look for in financial apps. Not mentioned here either, based on our sources.
Okay, so encrypted in transit is good, a baseline, but it's definitely not the whole security story. Users should be aware of what's not explicitly stated about storage.
Active awareness is key.
Right. Now let's switch gears again to another practical thing. This app is free, which is great for getting people to try it out. lowers the barrier to entry.
Absolutely. Accessibility is important.
But for any free digital tool, the question always comes up. How do they pay the bills? How does RMY Studio sustain itself and keep developing the app?
It's the classic free lunch question in the digital world, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Well, in this case, the source material points to in-app advertisements as the monetization strategy.
Ads. Okay, that's common.
Very common. Standard practice on both Google Play, Apple App Store. For you, the user, it means you get the features for free, but the trade-off is you'll see ads while you're using the app.
Makes sense. Pay with your attention,
Yeah.
essentially.
Right. Now, the kind of ads can matter. Are they just small banners at the bottom, or are they, those more annoying full-screen video pop-ups that interrupt you?
Good question. The source doesn't specify.
Doesn't seem to specify the intrusiveness level. And another critical point, are these ads contextual, maybe just general ads about saving money, or are they targeted potentially based on your inferred interests or maybe data within the app?
But they said no data is shared with third parties.
They did, but it's complex. Even without direct sharing of your personal data, some ad networks can use things like anonymized data or your device's advertising ID to show you ads they think are relevant based on your app usage or other online behavior. It's often a gray area.
Okay, so the no sharing promise is important, but the ad experience itself is still something to consider.
It's definitely a trade-off. Some people don't mind ads at all if the app is useful. Others really prefer to pay a small amount for an ad-free version.
Which doesn't sound like an option offered here, based on what we're seeing.
Not explicitly mentioned, no. So it really prompts you to weigh things up. How valuable is the free access and the motivation versus how much you tolerate ads and any lingering questions about how those ads are delivered?
That's a really thorough look behind the curtain there.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these different threads together.
All right.
The RMY Studio Savings Goal app, it seems to position itself as this really user-friendly, potentially highly motivating tool for reaching financial goals. It blends simplicity with some smart, psychologically informed design choices.
Exactly. I think its core strength is that empowerment angle, breaking down big, scary goals into visible, manageable steps. It leverages those behavioral finance ideas we talked about, mental accounting, visualization, deadlines, feedback loops to fight off procrastination and keep you engaged.
Yeah, the motivational toolkit seems quite strong.
It does.
Yeah.
However, an informed user, someone really thinking about it, also has to weigh those unanswered questions. The lack of specifics on files and documents data collection, the missing clarity on data at rest security.
Right, the privacy ambiguities.
Yeah. Those are important considerations. And the monetization through ads is a clear trade-off. You need to decide if that model, that experience, works for you and a tool you're using for your financial goals.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, if you've ever felt kind of stuck, just staring at a huge financial target and not knowing where to begin, this app's approach, especially the goal visualization and that automatic calculation breaking things down, it could genuinely be the practical kickstart you need.
It could turn that vague desire into concrete daily or weekly actions, make it feel achievable.
But, and this is maybe the bigger takeaway, it also challenges you to be an active, really informed consumer of this kind of financial tech. How much clarity do you personally need or demand from an app that's holding your financial dreams, essentially?
That's the key question.
Okay, and that brings us pretty much to the end of this deep dive into the RMY Studio Savings Goal app. We've explored how it helps you set and track those unlimited goals, the psychological boosts from pictures and deadlines, the sheer convenience of automatic calculations.
And also, critically, the nuances and the, let's say, lingering questions around data privacy practices and how it supports itself using in-app ads.
Right. Covered a lot of ground.
And I think ultimately this whole discussion, it kind of shines a light on a broader challenge we all face in this digital age, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, how do we, as individuals, effectively evaluate all these tools? Apps, websites, platforms designed to manage increasingly vital parts of our lives, like our finances. It's got to be about more than just slick features, right? It involves understanding the psychology they're using, understanding the business model behind it, and trying to see the hidden implications, especially around data.
So it's about looking deeper than the surface level.
Exactly. It encourages you, the listener, to really think about your own priorities. Where do you personally draw the line between convenience, powerful motivation, and wanting robust, transparent privacy and security? The best tools should empower you, definitely, but they should also respect your need for clarity and control over your own information. Finding that balance is key.
That's a great thought to leave things on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive today. I really hope it's given you some valuable insights, whether you're thinking about this specific app or just your overall approach to managing your savings and using financial tech.